Hi, everybody. I am Teresa Malone. Welcome to my channel. I talk everything narcissist abuse and I coach people all over the world. And today I would like to talk about a subject that is near and dear to my heart. And, when we are looking at the domestic violence world and, crossing into the emotional abuse world, we have domestic violence. We have the claims of domestic violence. And what I want to talk about is something that just kind of goes under the radar, and it's not fair. It's a prejudice that wealthy victims cannot be victims of domestic violence. They're not believed, they're not treated the same. When we think of domestic violence, our minds kind of drift off to images of physical abuse and emotional manipulation, and there may even be some sort of social stigma of it's them, not us. We're here in the hills, and no, that doesn't happen for us. It's the others, right? It's a what other kind of life it is, right? But we have to remember that rich people, especially women, face unique challenges when they claim domestic violence, right? The perfect life illusion is probably the first thing. It's the biggest barrier because the perception of them having a perfect life is what the police come in. And I've had a bunch of clients, a lot of clients lately that have called the police and reported domestic violence. And the police come, they look around the home. Well, nice house, nice pool. Your kids look fine. They look like they're in designer outfits. We don't see any abuse here. And they leave. They will not validate that someone with money can be an abusive person because they have a nice car. Like, if you think about the people who may have money, they might be public figures. They may be well-respected doctors or lawyers or business owners in town. And so there's this skepticism when the spouse of someone who is well known in town comes up and speaks, right? And the police and the law enforcement are protecting these kind of abusers simply because of stereotypes. Now, yes, of course, there are a lot of people without money that get abused. There doesn't matter what money you have. That's the point. It does not matter where you are, whether you have no money and you're struggling to survive and get away because you have no money, or whether you are in $1 million home and you have no money to get away. You are trapped. You're actually just as trapped as someone without money, but nobody believes you. And it's also just the amount and the level to which rich people can further abuse, hiding under that cloak of innocence and power and all of the other things that a wealthy narcissist will do, right? We need to change this. This is a stigma and it's not fair. We need to educate our police and our domestic violence system to really understand that rich people can also be abuse, right? If you think about that financial dependency, let's start with that, right? So the financial dependency and this power imbalance happens whether you have money or you don't, right? Wealth does not protect people from power imbalance, which is the inherent behind the scenes clause of every abusive relationship, right? If the abuser's the one who controls the family finances, you may not be able to leave. Despite having a pool in the yard and your kids in designer clothes, right? They could abuse financially for control for a long time and then threaten to cut you off, take away your children. This creates a different dynamic because they do have lots of money that will do everything to make sure you get committed and they get your kids, right? That's not something that people without a lot of money have, but the rich narcissists and the rich abusers will do this, right? When we talk about the legal challenges that can happen. So again, I talked about the police coming and going, I don't see anything here, and sort of taking away the cred that they are, or even believing them for a smidge of a thing, right? They are going to take it into the legal system. And this is where that top tier legal stuff also comes in and looks at the doctor or lawyer or businessman in town and goes, no, you know what, their reputation's at stake. Let's try to keep this noise down and just work it out between you. And they don't do anything. I've seen only a few cases where they were even believed. Imagine being beaten, raped, or, emotionally abused for years and years, and nobody believes you because you have a pool. Right. Then we have other things that happen with people with money, right? There's a stigma and social consequence, if you think about it, right? If they come forward and make a claim about domestic violence, it carries a really heavy social cost, right? Part of the abuser's reputation is on the line here. And so they, like all narcissists, probably have been using enough smearing in the line so that talking bad about you, right? That when you make this claim, people already think you're crazy, right? People have already heard things about you or whatever the narcissist narrative is. This makes it really hard to come forward because you don't even know the damages behind the stigma, and coming out and having people talk about this happening is going to be hard. So when we think about breaking the silence, right, it doesn't discriminate. We have to understand abuse is about power and control and coercive control. And it happens no matter what the financial status is. Wealthy victims face the extra challenge of not being believed, not getting the support because their husband or their partner has money. They don't have money, they can't afford counseling, and they would sure like to get into the domestic violence system of counseling or help or support or shelter if they need it. And they're thrown away at the curb. That's the disturbing part of this. Nobody, I don't care how much money you have, should be thrown away at the curb if they are being abused. What kind of system do we have that we are not honoring the fact that rich people are often abusers? Their control, their power, everything about them reeks and shows us the forecast of how they will use their money to further abuse someone. So I just wanted to validate anyone who's going through this. If you are not believed, show your lawyer this video, show anybody and go, look, it happens. It's because we have a pool. It's not fair and it's not fun. And I wish there was a lot of advice we could do and tell you, this is how you do it. It depends on your situation. Certainly, proving everything with evidence is going to help, so that gathering that data is going to be something that they can't dispute. If it's him against her or this one against that one, then they will use the evidence and probably side with the, oh, let's not do anything to their reputation. They own them all, right? Whatever it is, try to find a place for you if you're in this situation where people do believe you. Get into these situations with a domestic violence center or advocate so that you have that to use in court to show them, yes, I am being believed. I am being abused. This is Tracy Malone. I hope this helped. If you would like to have more resources and you're looking to understand this horrible type of abuse, go to my website, narcissistabusesupport.com. And I will see you next time. Thank you.